space, the final frontier. But I'm talking about inner space instead of outer space today. I'm Heath, MD, psychoanalyst for Freudalicious Mind. Get to know your unconscious and find yourself. I'm here at the Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C. today. They have enormous amounts of artifacts of all kinds, but they have it surrounded by this space. And it's a very interesting layout. You know, instead of like the typical museum, like the British Museum that we were at before, I'm your traveling psychoanalyst this week, instead of just stuff, it's space with stuff in it. It's amazing stuff. These objects that the crafters put their spirit into. And that's the meaning of the space. You know, space, whenever we hold it, whether it's in mindfulness or being aware of our feelings or understanding our relationships, it's all space that allows us to be within it. And like at the British Museum, there are artifacts. In fact, there's a broad array of different cultures represented here because the Native American tribes had many different cultures, actually, different languages. There were cultures that were based on fish and sea. Other Native American cultures were more dependent on the land animals. But most important, to be one with the space, one with the ground that they walked on and the land that they lived with, one with the earth. But to have that kind of philosophy so that they could understand their surroundings and understand their spirit, because it also represents your space inside, your spiritual space. And that's the architecture of this great museum. It's got these spaces in which we can enjoy our presence, ourselves. Part of the beauty of the space is what happens inside it. For this museum, and part of the magnificence of this museum is that they have stories. They have stories going on. There's different locations, different tribes that have different stories, and you can experience these stories as you go along. That's the tradition as it was passed down in the Native American cultures. And the same for us. If you understand your story, and that's the beauty of holding space, so that we can have a space to understand our story, whether it's our emotions, our unconscious, slips of the tongue, things you like to do, your passions, your hobbies, creativity. Pay attention to it all, because it's your story too, and it's within the space. Like I say, mindfulness, psychotherapy, however you pay attention to yourself, listen to your story. And so if we can capture some of the spirit of connecting with ourselves through mindfulness or other kinds of meditation, but mostly just paying attention to what it's like to be you. Because if you can pay attention to your reactions to things, your unconscious mind, like we talked about with other videos, to understand that is to understand yourself. And it relieves anxiety, it adds meaning to life, and it makes life more fun. Thanks for watching. I'm Heath, MD, with Freudalicious. I'm Heath, MD, with Freudalicious Mind. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.